Hello, everybody. This is the retake video for percent change. So if you have not watched the original video on this skill, make sure you go back and watch that one first. For those of us that are doing the retake video, we were given two different parts of the same type of problem, which is you're either given the percent or you are finding the percent when you're talking about percent change. So given the percent, I would say, is the one that you see most often in the real world. That's where you have a 20% off or a 25% sale, or your salary increases by 15%. All of those mean that you need to do two steps, okay? So the first step is you need to multiply the percent times the original number. A lot of times you'll just hear people say multiply, and then you need to either add or subtract from the original. Okay, two-step problems. You multiply, and then you either increase or decrease. The other type of problem is where they want to know what the percent change was. So from one set of numbers to another is the most common percent change example. And in those, you need the fraction change over original. And from there, you just convert that fraction to a percent. These are not easy skills by any stretch of the imagination, but the nice thing is that they are fairly consistent. As long as you follow those procedures, you will get pretty much every problem at least partially correct, just simply from going the right direction. Now, this page is very important. So if you bring this page to your teacher right now, they will give you some classroom currency. So my goal in the retake video is to show you how the two different parts of percent change can slightly change a problem. So what I have done is on these problems, I've given us one example where it gives us the percent, like the one here on the right, and then one problem where it asks us to find the percent, like the one here on the left. So each of these problems starts with some version of Mr. Schmidt went on a diet. His weight used to be 170 pounds. Now the problem on the left, which we're going to do first, says it's 155 pounds now. What's the percent change? Okay, so as soon as we hear that, we're looking for the percent. We need to do, change over original. So in our example, he used to be 170 pounds, meaning that has to be the original, okay? Now it's 155 pounds, and here is a very common mistake. People will write 155 on the top because that's what it changed to. But we want to know how much did it change, or what was the percent change. So from 170 to 155, as my friend 50 Cent would say, we are looking at 15 is the change. Now, this type of problem is one that I do not require my students to do long division for. Okay, so if you are in my class, this is the time when the calculator is the appropriate mathematical tool. And if I typed in 15 divided by 170, I would get a pretty crazy decimal. Okay. Something like that. Now, need to read the directions whenever you're given a problem like this to see what you should round to. But in my example for this video, I'm going to let you round to a whole percent. So you would say it is about, the magic math word that says we are rounding, 9%. And then we're going to say it is a decrease because it went down. Okay, so it's about a 9% decrease. Now, the problem on the right says, Mr. Schmidt used to be 170 pounds. After a diet, it decreased by 10%. So what is his new weight? So this time we are given the percent. So that means we have two steps. We need to multiply. And then since we are decreasing, we need to subtract. Okay? Step one, we take 170 times our 10%. 2 digits behind the decimal place. Once again, I multiply very quickly through here because we've done it so many times. So it is a decrease of 17 pounds. That's our 10%. So from here, all we need to do is we need to subtract the 17 from our original 170. And I am at 153 pounds. So here are our two types of problems. We are either given the percent or we are finding the percent. Just make sure you do not treat them the same way. Let's do one more example here. Once again, one of these problems is given the percent and one of these problems is not given the percent. We have to find it. So let's do the one on the left first. Yesterday's temperature was 55 degrees. Today is 15% hotter. So we are given the percentage here, meaning we have two steps. Step one is multiply. Step two, because it's hotter or warmer, means we need to add our answer back to our original. So let's do 55 times 15%, 2 digits behind the decimal place. Now this one's probably going to have some decimals. If I had to guess, there we go. 2 digits behind the decimal. So we have an extra 8 and 25/100 degrees. That's how much it increased. So we need to add that back to our original. I'm going to add a couple digits behind my decimal point so that when I add, it lines up nicely. There we go. So today is 63 degrees and 25/100. Now, it's entirely possible that when you're given this problem, it will tell you to round. Whoops, I better put degrees here. But in this one, I didn't specifically list it. And those who have had me in class before know that I love 2 digits behind the decimal point. So that will work. The problem on the right does not give us the percent. Therefore, we need to do change over original. So from 55 degrees to 70 degrees is a change of 15. Be very careful that you don't write 55 on the top. It's asking how much did it change? Now, this one is going to be a little bit tricky. Which of these numbers is the original number? So one of the hints that I give is which number is older makes it the original one. So yesterday was 55 degrees. Today is 70. So the older number, in quotations, is 55. Yesterday's number, and that means it goes down here, 55. When I see a fraction, the first thing I like to do is simplify. If I divide the numerator and denominator by 5, I get 3 over 11. 3 over 11 is a great example of a time that my students are allowed to use their calculator to convert this to a decimal. And when they do that, they get a repeating decimal like that. So I'm going to say that this is about 27 and 27/100%. Okay? Like we talked about many times already, there are 2 different types of percent change problems. Just remember that you do not mix them up. You always want to figure out, am I given the percent or am I finding the percent? As always, if you have any questions, please let me know.